Hi everyone, welcome to our PT Plus online lessons. Now the main topic for today's lesson is describe image, where we will be introducing this question type together with some of the key information that you absolutely must know when you're studying and preparing for describe image. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, the first part of your test is the speaking and writing section. And within the speaking section, describe image is the third question type that you will be facing in the exam. In terms of the score distribution, describe image is each of them is worth 15 marks, okay? And you will be facing 6 to 7 describe image questions in the exam. So this adds up to a total of 80 to 95 marks. Now, in terms of a proportion, that is about 25% of your speaking scores altogether. So 1/4 of your speaking marks actually comes from describe image. Now, as we know in PTE, there is a cross-module scoring contribution as well. So for example, with read aloud, it isn't just, even though it's a speaking question type, it doesn't just contribute to speaking, it also contributes to reading. Now, this is the same for all of the other question types where they either contribute to reading or they contribute to listening. But in the case of describe image, it only contributes to your speaking. So it contributes that 25% to speaking and that's it. Okay. And so therefore, let's have a look at its rank of importance out of the speaking question types. It is actually the third rank right after repeat sentence and read aloud. Basically, it's in the top 3 most important question types in your speaking section. So you definitely want to be paying attention to it because this tells you how much time and effort you should be allocating to each of these question types based on their weight and based on their importance. So now let's have a look at the question type introduction video from the official Pearson PTE Academic.
Describe image. For this item type, you need to describe an image. The recording status box displays a countdown until the microphone opens. You have 25 seconds to study the image and prepare your response. You hear a short tone. After the tone, start speaking immediately.
The graph shows the percentage of the population receiving age or disability pensions in different regions of Sydney.
Okay, so from the video you will see that this is roughly what you will be facing or what you'll see in the exam. And there are a few things I'd like to stress here. Now, firstly, you'll have 25 seconds of preparation time to basically look at this image and prepare what you want to say. Also, please note that your 25 seconds will actually be counting down over here, so you can keep track of this time here. Okay, on the top right hand corner, actually, there are 2 things as well. Over here is the question number that you're on. So in terms of describe image, you'll have 6 to 7 questions. So you'll be able to see how many you've actually completed and what question number you're on. At the same time, there is a counter or a timer for the entire section. But you don't really have to worry about this too much for speaking because every single question is timed individually as well anyway. All right. Now, after this countdown of your preparation time, you will then hear a beep and this microphone will now start opening. Now, remember that with the microphone opening, you do need to start speaking within 3 seconds of it opening because if not, it will automatically close. Okay, so make sure that you take a breath and then afterwards start speaking immediately. All right, and basically you will have 40 seconds to describe this image. Now let's take an overall look at the scoring criteria for describe image. And as you can see here, you are scored on 3 criteria: content, pronunciation, and fluency. And in this case, for describe image, they are each worth 5 marks in total. So that's a total of 15 marks for one describe image question. Okay, now we have detailed videos going in and breaking down the requirements and the skills and techniques needed to achieve higher scores in each of these criteria. So make sure you look at those too. But let me just for now summarize these at a high level. So firstly, with content, it's basically assessing whether or not you're picking up the key elements and information from the image and conveying those. Okay. For pronunciation, it's looking again at the clarity of your speech, of your pronunciation, and also whether you have, word level stress and sentence level stress in your pronunciation too. With oral fluency, it's looking at how smooth and how steady the pace of your speech is without any hesitations and without any long pauses. And also at the same time, it's looking at the rhythm of your speech together with your stresses again as well. Okay, so make sure you look at those videos breaking these down in detail. So finally, let's have a look at a tip provided by official PT Academic when it comes to doing describe image, which is to organize your description of the image, because a well-organized answer is more likely to cover the main information as well as details as well as conclusions. So for example, with the speech over here, you can see that it starts off with a general introduction to the topic of the image. Then it goes into some of the main points, and then it ends with a conclusion as well. So this is exactly why in PTE Describe Image, the use of a structural template is such a core strategy and such a big help to maximize your scores. Okay, because a structural template can firstly ensure that number one, you have a flow, it's structuring your flow of the content that you need to pick out from the image. Okay, so it ensures that you've got that coverage. Now, at the same time, because it's got your flow and your thought process laid out for you, it's easier to then minimize any hesitations or any long pauses as well. So it also helps to increase your fluency. And because you're also going to be able to control your pace through this structural template, then it allows you to bring out your pronunciation skills as well. Okay, so that's why in our future videos and on skills and techniques, we go through some of the key templates, structural templates in Describe Image that can help you to maximize your performance when it comes to doing this question type. Okay, so that's it for this lesson, and I'll see you again next time on PT Plus.